In the next 3 months, the person you're currently texting is going to leave you. And they're going to walk away because of a conversation you haven't even had yet. Right now, you think you're winning. You're using an AI or an AI Wingman app to optimize your replies. Your matches are skyrocketing and you're getting numbers, and you feel like a genius who finally cracked the code. But here's the truth of the 2026 dating market. Dating apps aren't designed to get you in a relationship. They're designed to keep you single, to keep you swiping, and importantly, keep you paying for their premium subscriptions. They want you addicted to the illusion of progress. And these new AI Wingman apps, they're the ultimate tool helping the dating apps do exactly that. They give you just enough success on the screen to keep you hooked while completely sabotaging your ability to connect in real life. This video is more aimed at the guys watching because from my experience and some of the studies have shown that there are more men using AI for responding to women on dating apps than the other way around. That said, ladies, please do stick around because I'd love to get your thoughts in the comments section below whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Now, most men aren't rejected because they're unattractive or don't make enough money. They're rejected because they leak profound, silent uncertainty in micro moments. And when you use an AI to talk to people, you are literally programming yourself to leak that uncertainty. So today I'm going to show you exactly where that leak happens and why. I'm going to show you why your AI Wingman is actually a false friend designed to make you fail, and how to reclaim the raw, analog confidence that actually gives you success. Look, my job is to see the patterns that others completely miss. I study human behaviour, attraction triggers, and the unspoken language that dictates whether a woman respects you or friend zones you. And right now, I'm seeing a massive epidemic that no one's really talking about. We need to define some terms so you exactly understand what is destroying your dating life. First, let's talk about Rizz. You hear this word everywhere. Real Rizz is just raw, unfiltered charisma. Some people even refer to it as game. It's your ability to hold eye contact, carry tension, and be unapologetically yourself in a way that pulls people towards you. But what you're using on these apps is synthetic Rizz. It's fake game. It's an algorithm that scrapes millions of internet comments to spoon feed you a witty comeback. It looks like confidence on the screen, but it's got zero backbone in reality. When you rely on this synthetic Rizz, you fall victim to something we call identity capture. And this simply means the app's personality has completely hijacked your own. The woman isn't texting you anymore. She's texting a piece of software. You've been captured. You are a hostage to the app. And that leads to the biggest dating killer of all, the disconnect. Some people call this the latency gap, but I want to keep it simple. The disconnect is the massive awkward canyon between the incredibly smooth guy you pretend to be over text and the nervous, hesitating guy you actually are when you're sitting across from a bar or in a restaurant. Now, a lot of dating gurus want to sell you more lines or more AI prompts, more synthetic garbage. They want to treat the symptom. I want to treat the disease. If you want to understand why your dates feel off and why women pull away after the first meetup and why you feel like an imposter in your own life, you need to listen closely. We're going to deconstruct this trap piece by piece. So what is actually happening in your bedroom right now? You're laying there, phone in hand. You get a notification. It's a match. She's gorgeous. She sends a message that's a little bit challenging, testing your frame. So your heart rate spikes. You feel that micro moment of panic. I don't know what to say. If I say the wrong thing, she'll unmatch. Now, in the olden days, you would have sat with that tension. You would have been forced to think, to be a little bit bold and to take a real risk. Instead, you open your Wingman app, you hit spicy mode, and within 3 seconds, it spits out a line that is perfectly balanced. Bit of wit, slightly arrogant, undeniably charming. You copy, you paste, you hit send. And she replies instantly with a laughing emoji, and you feel that massive rush of dopamine. But you just made a fatal error. You just wrote a check with your fingers that in real life you can't cash. In real world interactions, the words are only about 7% of the communication. The other 93% is your body language, your vocal tonality, your eye contact, and your pacing. If you send a highly confident, sexually charged text, it carries an unspoken promise to this woman. You are promising her that when she meets you, she's going to meet a man with a deep voice, unwavering eye contact, and a rock-solid physical frame. But when you finally meet in person, the pattern breaks. I want to show you exactly what that kind of looks like. Imagine you're sitting across from a beautiful woman, the conversation stalls, the tension rises. It's the perfect moment to escalate, to show her you have real game. Here is what happens when you have the disconnect. So here's a guy who relies on AI trying to remember a line. So I was just thinking, you look really nice tonight. Like, your dress is cool. We should maybe get out of here soon if you want to. No pressure though. Did you feel that? It's weak. It's asking for permission. It's leaking uncertainty from every pore. Even if the words are okay, the delivery completely destroys any attraction. Now, let me show you what kind of a real analog confidence looks like. I want to show you what happens when your internal frame actually matches the words coming out your mouth. Watch the eyes, watch the pacing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I stopped listening to what you were saying about 3 minutes ago because I got entirely distracted by the way your lips move. Let's get out of here. If you deliver that second line with the eye contact and tone, the game is over, you win. That is the kind of raw tension that makes a woman's heart race. That makes her sit back and realise she's dealing with a man who actually knows exactly what he wants and isn't afraid to take it. But you can't fake that. An app cannot give you the tone. An algorithm cannot hold that eye contact for you. When you use an AI wingman to show up to a date like that first guy, your voice pitch goes up because you're searching your brain for the right answer. You look down and left. You pause too long. You laugh nervously to cut the tension. She feels the disconnect immediately. It's a visceral, physical reaction in her body. She feels like she's been catfished, not by your photos, but by your personality. She thought she was meeting the confident man from the texts, and instead, she's sitting across from a guy who is sweating through his shirt trying to remember an algorithm script. You think you're being clever by using these apps. You think you're levelling the playing field. But let's look at what exactly is happening in your brain. Every time you use an AI to speak for you, you are reinforcing a devastating internal belief. You are telling your subconscious mind, the real me is not enough. Every time you copy and paste a generated line, you are voting against your own masculinity. You are telling yourself that your natural humour is boring, your genuine thoughts are inadequate, and your true personality is a liability. And if you keep doing this, you experience a complete loss of your social edge. Your social muscles will literally rot away. If you don't use your ability to read a room, hold tension and banter on your feet, you lose it. You become dependent. And here is the psychological secret about women that you must understand. Women are biologically wired to detect weakness and incongruence. They have evolved over millions of years to sense when a man is projecting a fake status. When she senses that disconnect, her nervous system moves into a state of alarm. She might not be able to articulate it, but her gut tells her this guy's a fraud, he's hiding something. I had a guy reach out to me a few weeks ago. He was a high-level earner, drove a great car, but he was terrified of talking to women, so he started using an AI wingman. Within a week, he matched with a stunning girl. He used the AI to run absolute circles around her in the chat. He was funny, dominant, emotionally articulate, and she was hooked. They met up for drinks, and within 20 minutes, that date was effectively over. And why? Because she threw him a curveball. She playfully teased him about his drink. Over text, the AI would have given him a sharp, flirty comeback. But in person, he froze. He got defensive, his voice cracked, he broke eye contact and nervously explained himself for like 2 minutes straight. She felt the emotional weight of his insecurity immediately and the illusion shattered. She realised she'd fallen for a beautiful script, but the actor playing the role was terrified. The AI is not your friend. It gives you the win of the date, but ensures you lose the girl almost every single time. It treats you like a customer, keeping you hooked on the app, while actively destroying your ability to form real human connections. We need to completely redefine what you think game actually is. You've been brainwashed to believe that attraction is about saying the exact perfect combination of words. It's not. In modern dating, where everyone is faking it, where everyone has filters, or they're using AI, the most valuable, attractive trait a man can possess is self-ownership. This is called being a sovereign man. Being sovereign means you are the absolute author of your own life and your own interactions. You don't rent your personality from an app in your pocket. A sovereign man owns his silence, he owns his eye contact, and he owns his awkward moments. If he doesn't know what to say, he doesn't panic. He just looks at her and smirks and lets the silence do the work. The opposite of sovereignty is dependency. And when you use an AI Wingman app, you're a dependent man. You're essentially telling a woman, I'm not man enough to lead this interaction, so I'm letting my phone do it. Confidence is not about never making a mistake. Confidence is about emotional self-containment. It's the ability to send a text that is a little bit simple, or make a joke that falls a bit flat, and be completely, unapologetically unbothered by it. When you stop faking it, you reclaim your mental autonomy. You start training your own brain to handle social pressure. You step out of the matrix of the dating apps and back into the real world. You stop being a consumer of algorithmic garbage and you become a creator of real analog tension. A woman doesn't want a perfectly optimized chatbot. She wants a man with a pulse, with flaws, who looks her in the eye and means exactly what he says. So let's get extremely clear right now. If you feel the need to download and use an AI Wingman, you quite simply aren't ready to date, period. You're trying to skip the line, you're trying to get the reward without doing the work, and the universe will punish you for that every time by putting you across the table from a woman you can't handle. You need to take a massive step back. You need to do the actual work to build your own confidence in yourself. You need to become the best version of the man you already are. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. Be radically authentic. Do not fake it. If you want to know how to actually handle interactions without a crutch, let's look at how a sovereign man handles a real scenario. She texts you. She sends a text that says, "You seem like a player. I bet you say that to all the girls." Now, the weak approach, you panic, you open the app, and the AI generates a defensive, overly clever response. Only the one smart enough to keep my attention. It's a canned fake alpha line. If she presses you on it in person, you're gonna crumble. Now, the sovereign approach is, you don't use a text at all. You hold the frame and you send a 15-second voice note. Your voice is low and slow and completely relaxed, and you say, maybe with a little chuckle, "You caught me. I was actually just trying to think of a really smooth line to impress you, but I'll just tell you the truth. I don't say that to everyone, but I definitely wanted to say it to you." Now, let's kind of break this down a little bit as to why that's a bit lethal. With a voice note, she hears your actual vocal resonance. She hears your pacing. You're establishing real analog dominance that cannot be faked by software. And the vulnerability there is the power. You admitted you were trying to impress her. Weak men hide their intent. Strong men state their intent clearly and are unashamed of it. You end with a clear, direct desire. I definitely wanted to say that to you. This is how you fast-track real chemistry. You take the algorithmic bullshit out of the equation and you inject raw humanity back into the interaction. If you're on a date and she asks you a question you don't have a slick answer for, do not look down. Do not break eye contact. Look right in her eye, smile and say, "I've absolutely no idea what the answer is to that, but I love the way your mind works." That's unfiltered confidence. You're so secure in your own masculinity that you don't need a script to protect you. This goes way beyond getting a few more matches on Hinge or Tinder. This is about the fundamental core of who you are as a man. Look in the mirror. Do you want to be a guy who spends his life frantically searching for hacks, shortcuts and lines to trick women into liking a fake version of himself? Because if you do, I promise you, you're always going to feel empty. You'll always feel like an imposter waiting to be found out. Or do you want to be a man who carries a completely different kind of energy? A man who walks into a room and owns his space. A man who a woman can look at and instantly feel, this guy is safe, this guy is solid, I can trust his strength. We live in a world where everyone is exhausted by fake personas. Women are starving for a man who is just undeniably real. When you choose to step away from the apps, delete the wingman, and be radically, unapologetically authentic, you separate yourself from 99% of the competition. You become a sovereign man. When your internal reality matches your external actions, you generate a magnetic pull. You won't need to chase because your sheer grounded presence will do the heavy lifting for you. Don't let an algorithm convince you that you aren't enough. Guys, you're the prize, but only when you have the courage to actually be yourself. Now, if everything I've just said hits a nerve, if you realise that you've been playing a rigged game and you're finally sick of losing, then it's time to stop watching random YouTube videos and actually fix the root of the problem. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, although feel free, and then wait for another video next week, because you don't need another video, you need an intervention. Bit of a shameless plug. I want you to go to the link in the description right now and look at my program, Connect for Him. This is not a dating script. I'm not going to give you copy and paste lines. It's a complete system reset. It's a self-paced transformation course specifically designed for men who are ready to stop second-guessing themselves, stop leaking uncertainty, and start showing up with real confidence, real direction, and absolute clarity. We're going to strip away the synthetic garbage, and we're going to rebuild your analog charisma from the ground up. We're going to look at your eye contact, your vocal tonality, your internal frame, and your ability to escalate tension without hesitation. If you feel the need to use an AI wingman, you've got work to do, and it's time to do the work. Go to the link, take ownership of your dating life, delete the dating apps, delete the AI, and become the man you're meant to be. I'll see you inside.